Have you ever felt as if life was spinning out of your control, like a ship lost in a stormy sea? Perhaps you've wondered how to gain back the reins of your own destiny, how to shape your life amidst the chaos that surrounds us. What if I told you that the ancient wisdom of Stoicism holds the key? That by watching this video, you can unlock the tools that will help you navigate life with clarity, inner peace, and unshakable purpose. In this video, we'll delve deeply into 6 timeless Stoic principles that, when understood and applied, will give you the power to control your inner world and, therefore, your destiny. From mastering your reactions to embracing the philosophy of Amor Fati, the love of fate, you will walk away with practical wisdom that will transform not only your thinking, but your daily habits. Stay with us to the end, because each concept builds on the last, guiding you on a journey to master your mind, embrace your fate, and take charge of your life, even when the world around you feels uncertain. Let's begin. 1. Master your inner world, master your destiny. What is really in your control? In life, we are constantly surrounded by events and circumstances we cannot influence. The weather, the actions of others, global economic trends, these are all beyond our grasp. So, where does that leave us? Are we powerless in shaping our destiny? The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, give us a resounding no. They tell us that while we cannot control external events, we have absolute control over one thing: our own mind. Epictetus famously said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This is the core of Stoicism, understanding the distinction between what is within our power and what lies beyond it. The power to control your destiny lies not in manipulating the world, but in mastering your reactions to it. Why do we suffer more in our minds than in reality? When we obsess over things outside our control, other people's opinions, our social status, material possessions, we hand over our power. We become like puppets, swayed by every external event, our emotions tied to things we cannot influence. The Stoic mindset teaches us that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. The anxiety, the frustration, the anger we experience often stems from attaching too much value to things we cannot control. Marcus Aurelius said, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." Think about this for a moment. How many times have you been upset because something didn't go your way? How much energy have you spent worrying about what others think? All of this robs you of your peace of mind and, ultimately, your power to control your own destiny. So, ask yourself, what do you value that is beyond your control? How much of your energy is spent in vain? Focus on what is within your power. The Stoic approach is to shift our focus to what we can control: our thoughts, our judgments, our actions. This is where true freedom lies. Once you understand that you are the master of your own mind, the noise of the world quiets. External circumstances no longer dictate your happiness or peace of mind. You become immune to the storms around you because the calm resides within you. How do we put this into practice? One of the first steps is to cultivate a daily routine of reflection. In the mornings, remind yourself of what you can and cannot control. This simple habit of preparing your mind can shield you from being overwhelmed by external events throughout the day. In the evenings, reflect on how you reacted to the day's events. Were your emotions stirred by things outside your control? How could you have responded more wisely? The importance of perspective. Let's imagine for a moment. A person loses their job unexpectedly. There are 2 ways to react. One person might fall into despair, believing that their fate is sealed, that they are a failure. Another person, practicing Stoicism, will recognize that while they cannot control losing the job, they can control their reaction. They see it as an opportunity to grow, to learn, to move forward with strength. Which person do you think will ultimately be happier, more resilient, and more in control of their life? This is the beauty of Stoicism. It teaches us that while we cannot control what happens, we can always control how we perceive and respond to it. By mastering this perspective, we become the architects of our own lives, no longer victims of circumstance. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once wrote, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your mind is the key to your destiny. Ultimately, controlling your destiny begins and ends in your mind. No one else can make you feel inferior. No one can force you to be angry, and no external event can dictate your happiness unless you allow it. You are in control, and that is the most empowering realization one can have. So, how will you begin to reclaim control over your mind today? Will you practice focusing only on what you can influence, or will you continue to let the uncontrollable rule your thoughts and emotions? Remember, mastery over your destiny starts with mastery over yourself. 2. Embrace Amor Fati, loving your fate. What does it mean to love your fate? In life, many events occur that we neither expect nor desire. Yet, the Stoics encourage us to embrace the concept of Amor Fati, to love our fate. But how can we love something that, on the surface, may seem painful or unfair? Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, gives us profound insight when he wrote, "Love only that which happens to you and is spun with the thread of your destiny. For what is more fitting for your needs?" To practice Amor Fati is to accept that everything, joy, pain, success, failure, is part of a grand order that we may not fully understand. This doesn't mean resignation or passive acceptance of misfortune. Instead, it is an active embrace of life as it comes, seeing each moment as an opportunity for growth and learning. The Stoics saw every challenge, setback, or moment of suffering as a necessary part of the human experience and something to be loved, not feared. Why should we accept and love everything that happens? Consider this. If life were nothing but smooth sailing, would you ever grow stronger? Would you develop resilience, courage, or wisdom? The Stoics believed that adversity is the forge in which our virtues are strengthened. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Therefore, to love your fate is to recognize that both the pleasant and the painful are necessary for your development as a person. Each moment is a lesson, a step toward greater wisdom. Instead of resisting what happens, embrace it. Ask yourself, what is this situation trying to teach me? How can I grow from this? When we stop fighting against the flow of life and start accepting each moment as part of a larger, purposeful design, we open ourselves to a deeper sense of peace. Transforming suffering into strength. The Stoics did not deny that life is full of suffering, but instead of seeing suffering as something to avoid, they saw it as an opportunity. Epictetus, a former slave who rose to become one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, famously said, "Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well." This shift in mindset is what allows us to turn adversity into strength. Imagine you're faced with a difficult situation. You lose a loved one, suffer a personal defeat, or endure financial hardship. In that moment, you have two choices. You can curse your fate and let the suffering consume you, or you can embrace it with the mindset of Amor Fati, knowing that this experience, however painful, is essential to your journey. By doing so, you transform the suffering into a stepping stone for personal growth. How do we practice Amor Fati daily? It starts with perspective. Every morning, remind yourself that today will bring challenges, and those challenges are not obstacles, but opportunities. As Marcus Aurelius reflected, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. By preparing your mind to welcome whatever comes, you are practicing Amor Fati. Additionally, practicing gratitude, even for the difficult moments, reinforces this mindset. When something unpleasant happens, instead of immediately reacting with frustration or disappointment, pause and reflect. This is happening for me, not to me. What can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? The freedom that comes with embracing fate. When you accept and love your fate, you free yourself from the emotional turmoil of constantly wishing things were different. You realize that peace does not come from controlling external circumstances, but from embracing them. By practicing Amor Fati, you align your will with the natural flow of life, and in doing so, you gain true freedom. So, can you start loving your fate today? Can you see every moment, even the hard ones, as a part of your path to wisdom? In doing so, you will cultivate resilience, inner peace, and a sense of harmony with life itself. 3. Avoiding destructive habits. Cultivate inner discipline. Are bad habits holding you back? Stoicism teaches us that our habits shape our character and therefore our destiny. But too often, we fall into destructive patterns that sabotage our ability to live virtuous and fulfilling lives. Whether it's procrastination, lying, or constantly comparing ourselves to others, these habits distract us from our true potential. The Stoics understood that a disciplined life is a free life. As Seneca wisely noted, "He who is a slave to his desires is more enslaved than those who wear chains." Let's begin by exploring the most common destructive habits and how you can apply Stoic wisdom to break free from them. Procrastination. Why do we delay what we know must be done? We've all been guilty of procrastination at some point, but procrastination, as harmless as it may seem, is a thief. It steals your time, your energy, and ultimately, your peace of mind. Marcus Aurelius constantly warned himself against the temptation to delay action, writing in Meditations, "Do not act as if you had 10,000 years to throw away. Death stands at your elbow. Be good for something while you live, and it is in your power." Every time you delay a task, you create unnecessary stress, which only compounds as the deadline approaches. So why do we put things off? Often it's because the task seems daunting or uncomfortable. But the Stoics remind us that the hardest tasks are often the most important. The discomfort we avoid is often the discomfort that would lead to growth. How can we overcome procrastination with Stoic discipline? The first step is recognizing that procrastination is a choice. When you delay action, you are choosing short-term comfort over long-term fulfillment. Stoicism teaches us to focus on the things within our control, our actions, our discipline, our ability to get started. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment to act, Stoics encourage us to start now. Break large tasks into small, manageable steps and take action immediately. To combat procrastination, establish a daily routine that keeps you accountable. Every morning, plan your day with intention. Prioritize the most important tasks, and remind yourself that action is the path to peace. As you complete each task, however small, you build momentum and confidence, making it easier to tackle larger challenges. How does comparison harm our well-being? Another destructive habit is the tendency to compare ourselves to others. In the modern world, we are constantly bombarded by images of other people's success, beauty, or wealth. This habit of comparison only leads to dissatisfaction and unhappiness, as we always find someone who seems to have more. But Stoicism teaches us that true contentment comes from within. Epictetus wisely stated, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." In other words, stop worrying about how others perceive you and focus on your own growth. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. By cultivating self-discipline and focusing on your own journey, you will find peace and satisfaction in your progress. Breaking the chains of bad habits. The Stoics believed that freedom comes from self-discipline. Every time you choose to act with integrity, to focus on what truly matters, and to reject the distractions of procrastination, comparison, or dishonesty, you are taking control of your destiny. You are building the habits that will lead to inner peace, fulfillment, and a virtuous life. At this point in the video, take a moment to reflect on your own habits. What is holding you back from living the life you truly want? Are there patterns of procrastination or comparison that you can break today? By confronting these habits and applying Stoic principles, you can begin to reshape your life in meaningful ways. That brings us to the halfway point of this journey. Stay with us as we dive deeper into Stoicism's wisdom and discover how these teachings can help you cultivate resilience and wisdom in every aspect of your life. 4. Cultivating Calmness Amidst Chaos, the Power of Inner Stillness. How can we remain calm in a chaotic world? The world is noisy, fast-paced, and often overwhelming. Whether it's the stress of work, the constant barrage of information from social media, or personal challenges, life can feel like an unrelenting storm. In this chaos, many people search for calm, yet they often seek it outside themselves, in possessions, entertainment, or even in the approval of others. Stoicism offers a different approach, the cultivation of inner stillness, which no external turmoil can disturb. Marcus Aurelius spoke to this very challenge when he said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This simple but profound truth reminds us that the key to calmness lies not in changing the world, but in changing how we relate to it. It is in mastering our internal state that we find peace amidst the chaos. Why do we let external events control our emotions? Many of us live reactive lives. When something doesn't go our way, we become angry, frustrated, or anxious. When the world around us feels unstable, we feel the same. But why do we let external events have such power over our inner world? The Stoics teach us that this happens because we give away our control. When we believe that our happiness depends on external things, whether it's success, material comfort, or even the behavior of others, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Instead, Stoicism reminds us that our emotions are not dictated by what happens to us, but by how we choose to interpret and respond to those events. In the words of Epictetus, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is a liberating insight. It means that no matter how chaotic the world may seem, you have the power to remain calm by controlling your perceptions and reactions. How do we practice inner stillness? Practicing inner stillness is not about escaping from the world, but learning how to engage with it in a way that doesn't disturb your peace. This can be achieved through several Stoic exercises. One of the most powerful techniques is the practice of mindfulness, being fully present in each moment without judgment. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to return to the present, saying, "Confine yourself to the present." By focusing your mind on the here and now, you let go of worries about the future or regrets about the past. This creates a space of calm within, no matter what's happening externally. Another Stoic practice that fosters inner stillness is the use of negative visualization. This involves imagining potential difficulties or misfortunes that could arise, so that when they do, you are mentally prepared. Rather than being shocked or thrown into turmoil by challenges, you accept them with equanimity, having already anticipated their possibility. This exercise strengthens your mental resilience and allows you to face adversity with a sense of calm. How does calmness empower you? Remaining calm in a chaotic world not only brings you peace, but it also empowers you to act more effectively. When you are calm, you can think more clearly, make better decisions, and respond to challenges with wisdom rather than emotion. Marcus Aurelius believed that a calm mind was essential for effective leadership, and this is equally true in our daily lives. Whether you are leading a business, a family, or simply your own life, calmness allows you to navigate difficulties with grace and strength. Ask yourself, how do you react when life becomes chaotic? Do you let the external world dictate your internal state, or do you cultivate calmness within? By practicing inner stillness, you can remain unshaken by the ups and downs of life and approach each situation with clarity and confidence. The art of letting go. One of the greatest barriers to calmness is attachment. We become attached to outcomes, to the way we think things should be, or to the belief that life must always go our way. But Stoicism teaches us to let go of these attachments by accepting that much of life is outside our control and by focusing only on what we can influence, our own actions and thoughts. We free ourselves from the anxiety that comes with wanting to control everything. As you move through life's chaos, practice letting go of what is beyond your control. Trust in your ability to remain calm, no matter what happens. By cultivating inner stillness, you will discover a deep reservoir of strength that allows you to thrive even in the midst of turmoil. 5. Building a Stoic routine, the foundation for a virtuous life. Why is a routine important for living a Stoic life? To live a life of virtue, clarity, and inner peace, it is essential to build a daily routine that reinforces these values. Stoicism teaches us that our habits and practices define who we are. As Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. The Stoics understood that if we are to live according to nature, cultivate wisdom, and act with courage, we must establish routines that strengthen our mind and character every day. A Stoic routine is not about rigidly following a schedule, but about creating intentional practices that help you live in alignment with your highest values. Whether through morning reflections, journaling, or preparing your mind for the day ahead, building these habits ensures that you are continually focused on what matters most: your thoughts, actions, and virtue. What does a Stoic routine look like? A typical Stoic routine starts with the morning. Upon waking, instead of rushing into the day's distractions, the Stoics encouraged quiet reflection. Marcus Aurelius often began his mornings by reminding himself of the challenges he would face. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, "The people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they cannot tell good from evil." This reflection is not meant to discourage, but to prepare the mind to face the day with patience, understanding, and calm. Another key practice is journaling. The Stoics believed in the power of writing as a tool for self-examination. Each day, take time to write about your thoughts, emotions, and experiences. What challenges did you face? How did you respond? Were your actions in line with Stoic virtues like wisdom, justice, and temperance? Journaling helps you stay accountable to your growth and provides a record of your progress along the Stoic path. In the evening, the Stoics also valued reflection. Before going to sleep, review the day. What did you learn? How could you have acted more wisely or with more courage? This practice of daily reflection allows you to continuously improve and ensures that each day brings you closer to living a virtuous life. How does routine lead to mastery? The power of a routine lies in its consistency. When you repeatedly practice mindfulness, reflection, and intention, these behaviors become second nature. Over time, you will find that you naturally respond to challenges with calmness and wisdom, that you focus more on what is within your control, and that you are less affected by external distractions. This is the path to mastery, not of the world, but of yourself. Establishing a routine also eliminates the chaos of indecision. When your day has structure, when you have already decided how you will spend your time and energy, You free your mind from the burden of constant choices. You create mental clarity, which allows you to focus more fully on the present moment and act with greater purpose. At this point in the video, take a moment to reflect on your current routine. Is it helping you live in alignment with your values? Are there practices you can adopt from Stoicism to build more intentionality into your day? By establishing a Stoic routine, you can create a foundation for a virtuous, peaceful, and fulfilling life. As you think about how to build your own Stoic routine, we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. What daily practices help you stay focused and grounded? How do you incorporate Stoic principles into your routine? Let's learn from each other and continue to grow together on this Stoic journey. 6. Finding strength in adversity. How Stoicism transforms trials into triumphs. Why does adversity exist in our lives? No one is immune to adversity. It comes in many forms: loss, disappointment, illness, or failure, and often when we least expect it. But how we respond to these challenges is what truly defines our character. For the Stoics, adversity was not something to be feared or avoided, but embraced as an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. As Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." In other words, life's trials are not curses. They are the very training ground for virtue. Many people, when faced with hardship, ask, "Why me?" But Stoicism encourages us to ask a different question. What can I learn from this? It's a profound shift in perspective. Instead of viewing adversity as an obstacle, we can see it as a teacher. Every challenge is a chance to build resilience, courage, and wisdom. So, the real question is, how can we use Stoicism to find strength in adversity? The practice of negative visualization, preparing for life's challenges. One of the most powerful Stoic practices for facing adversity is negative visualization. This involves regularly contemplating the worst-case scenarios, imagining what it would be like to lose something or face a particular hardship, so that you are mentally prepared if those situations arise. Far from being a pessimistic exercise, negative visualization actually makes you appreciate what you have and strengthens your resilience when misfortune strikes. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to anticipate adversity. He wrote, "Begin each day by telling yourself, 'Today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness, all of them due to the offender's ignorance of what is good or evil.'" By preparing his mind in advance, Marcus ensured that when these challenges did come, he was not caught off guard. He was ready to meet them with composure and wisdom. So, ask yourself, are you mentally prepared for life's inevitable challenges? Have you taken time to consider how you would respond if things did not go your way? By practicing negative visualization, you strengthen your ability to remain calm and clear-headed, even in the face of adversity. Transforming obstacles into opportunities, the Stoics believed that what stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that the very obstacles we face can be the catalysts for our greatest growth. Consider how this works in practice. Imagine you've been passed over for a promotion at work. Instead of seeing this as a setback, a Stoic would view it as an opportunity to reflect and improve. Perhaps this event highlights an area where you need to develop new skills or strengthen your work ethic, or maybe it teaches you the value of patience and perseverance. The adversity itself becomes a lesson, a stepping stone toward becoming a better version of yourself. Adversity reveals your true strength. The Stoics knew that true strength is not revealed when everything is going well. It is revealed in times of crisis. Seneca, who endured exile and the loss of many close to him, said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." In the same way that pressure forms diamonds, adversity brings out the best in us, if we are willing to face it with courage and wisdom. Take a moment to reflect. How have you responded to adversity in the past? Did it make you stronger, or did it overwhelm you? What could you have learned from that experience? By embracing challenges as opportunities to grow, you gain not only strength, but also inner peace. You come to realize that nothing in life is inherently bad or good. It is your reaction to events that defines their value. How does Stoicism help you remain resilient? Stoicism offers tools to build unshakable resilience in the face of life's hardships. One of the most important principles is the dichotomy of control, understanding that while we cannot control external events, we can control how we react to them. This simple truth is the foundation of inner strength. No matter what happens, you always have the power to choose your response. Epictetus, who endured slavery and physical hardship, often reminded his students of this power. He said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." When you internalize this Stoic principle, you become untouchable by the ups and downs of life. The storms may rage, but your mind remains calm, focused, and strong. Are you ready to embrace adversity as a path to wisdom? The next time life throws a challenge your way, pause and ask yourself, how can this make me stronger? What virtue can I practice in this situation? Patience, courage, temperance, or wisdom? By adopting this mindset, you turn every trial into a triumph, every setback into a stepping stone toward a more virtuous life. Adversity is not something to be feared but embraced. It is the fire in which your character is forged. With Stoic wisdom as your guide, you can transform every challenge into an opportunity for growth, resilience, and inner peace. The Stoics taught us that true power comes not from controlling the world, but from controlling ourselves. As Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca have shown, by focusing on what is within our control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, we can live with virtue, resilience, and inner peace. So now, it's your turn. How will you apply these principles in your life? Take a moment to reflect on what resonated most with you. What habit will you change? What mindset will you adopt? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. We'd love to hear your reflections and insights. And if you found value in this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with others who might benefit from the wisdom of Stoicism. Together, we can build a community of individuals committed to living with purpose, clarity, and strength. Thank you for joining us on this journey. May the principles of Stoicism guide you toward a life of true mastery and inner peace.